When I was in college, I was rejected from every fraternity because I was circumcised. Apparently, you need to be a complete dick.
That's it. Oh.
All right, welcome to episode 35 of Bros, Bumps, and Beers. I am Pat, the EST of Triple B Gagne. He is Matt, 2T's Gagne. And of course, the producer, Jordan, the Jackhammer Schofield. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Royal Rumble Sunday.
Royal Rumble Sunday, baby.
Let's go.
Royal Rumble tonight. We get the Super Bowl next weekend, and then we start the road to WrestleMania, baby, and there ain't no going back. This is what is awesome about wrestling.
Yeah. We're in the sweet spot, boys. Tonight,
energy mark there?
I loved it. Tonight it all goes down. I have an immense amount of confidence in my list. I couldn't be less worried. I'm calm like a bomb right now. You both are going to be driving around the perimeter, and I am excited to make this happen.
As long as all of my participants get in, I think there's a chance. As much as I was a little not optimistic about my draft, I've thought about it. I've looked at it a couple of times. As long as everybody gets in, I think I have a chance.
I feel like that's a big part of it. That's a big part of it.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I mean, if you pick someone that's not in it, that's pretty devastating.
Pretty
now let's get one thing straight.
You
Jordan
guys
picked a guy who's been on commentary for 2 years.
Okay,
So.
Samoa's getting up and getting
sure
in.
you don't want to give
Time has
me?
come.
You don't want to give me Sheamus or Dolph Ziggler? You sure?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
So yes, it is Royal Rumble tonight. We got a big night ahead of us. We're recording this, then we're going to take some time out and we're going to watch both Rumbles. We're going to watch the whole event. We're going to try doing some things that we haven't tried before, just test it out. And then at the end, we're going to record our last block. Long night ahead of us. Jordan's already yawning. That's a great sign. We have at least 5 hours of shit we got to get done, and Jordan is freaking yawning. Can you believe this? Oh my god, man!
Nope.
You're a stay-at-home bitch. Take a nap during the day, man. Take a nap.
Busy day. You texted us earlier this morning and told us you were hungover. You told us you were hungover.
Yeah, it made it even more challenging. I just got back from World War groceries, second time, because we did it Saturday, and then I had to go back Sunday because the stores didn't have it, the things we needed.
Tough life, eh? You lead a very tough life.
Laundry, cooking dinner, making a lamb gouache.
I'm going to pretend I know what a gouache is. A gouache.
I'm making the end of a lamb gouache. I started it before this, but I'll be polishing it up by the time our YouTube thingy starts.
Alrighty, so we're going to talk a lot about the Royal Rumble tonight, so let's jump into a couple of things. Let's do some housekeeping, which one is it?
Housekeeping.
Keep the house.
We are keeping at house.
Yeah, you keep the house to keep things in order. You clean the house to kick everything, like if you need to, fix things up.
Ass.
Yeah.
So
I learned something today.
We release on
I
Wednesday
just made that
as
up,
per usual. So when this comes out, we will be pretty close to Super Bowl Sunday. So we enjoy football. Matt loves it. Matt maybe be the biggest football fan in our group here. Correct, Matt?
Sure.
Just say Tom Brady.
I'm gonna drag myself to watch this and be bitter the whole time.
So we're all gonna make a pick. We said we would keep this quick. I'm gonna go first because I got some facts for everybody here. Some fun facts. If you all remember the old days, this is Nunavut Day on steroids. Okay, here we go. There have been 55 Super Bowls.
Oh, you're really starting off with the tough ones, eh?
This will be the 55th. Jordan, I'm correct, right? This is the 55th Super Bowl.
LV?
Yeah.
No, this is not LV, is it?
Yeah,
are you going to tell me? Are you going to tell us 110 teams have played?
No.
Because that's pretty straightforward.
Hold on. Yeah, math checks out.
How did Pat know that this was the 55th one? Is it because it was called Super Bowl 55?
Yes, correct.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. Way to go, Pat.
Right.
Nailed it.
So I'm going to focus on the quarterbacks because they are the true stars of this game. I'm going to try and show you that Tom Brady is not as impressive as people think, okay? There will have been 55 Super Bowls. Tom Brady has been in 10 of them, which means he's only been in 18% of the Super Bowls. Not impressive. Okay.
Okay.
In his times,
Hold on. I need to stop you. One person has been in 18% of something.
Yeah, that's really low. I know. Isn't it embarrassing for him? So he has been.
We're talking. You're an idiot.
He has been
I'm already upset with you.
in 9 Super Bowls. This will be his 10th. In those 9 Super Bowls, he has 136 incomplete passes.
System quarterback, I'll tell you.
Exactly. He has 3 losses. That's a big number. I mean, you go to 9, you should be winning at least 8 of them. In those 9 games, he has 6 interceptions. How about throwing it to your own team, Tom?
In 9 games, he only has 6 interceptions.
I know, Matt. I was shocked as well. It's a damning stat. Now let's move over to the new golden boy, Patrick Mahomes.
Pretty good.
He has been a part of this Kansas City Chiefs for 4 seasons.
That'd be a great name.
Kansas City Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs would be awesome.
Chiefs.
Gifts. The Kansas City Gifts.
Of those 4 seasons, this will be his 2nd Super Bowl. 50% of his time in the NFL, he has went to the Super Bowl. That's
Tom Brady. You realize that's the same stat as Tom Brady.
Matt, let me finish. The least amount of points Patrick Mahomes has put up in a Super Bowl is 31. Tom Brady, the least he's put up is 13. Tom Brady, not an offensive quarterback. He's Trent Dilfer, if you ask me. Patrick Mahomes has a 100% success rate in the Super Bowl. 1 for 1. Impressive? I know. He has only 16 incomplete passes. Tom Brady, again, has 136. And Patrick Mahomes, in 1 Super Bowl appearance, has only thrown 2 interceptions. That is why, on Sunday, for the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs will defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are quarterbacked by one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL history, 35-28. Book it. Put all your money down on the Kansas City.
So you're saying they cover? Because I will tell you this, there is heavy money on Kansas City. Heavy money on Kansas City. So it's almost to the point where I'm not sure I'm going to bet the game because I don't like my return, even on Kansas City -3. If I bet the game,
it's -3?
I'll probably move it out. Like if I bet the game, I'll probably move it out to -6 or -5.5. Like I'll bump
because Tom Brady.
So they have
sucks.
to win by 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching like a decent amount of Bucks games this year just through betting and through thinking they should have been like better, and they kind of rounded into form late. I still think the Packers blew that game just as much as Tampa won it.
Jordan, focused.
No,
Chiefs
I am
and
focusing.
Bucks. Packers.
This is why I'm telling you that I think Chiefs -3 is small. Like I'm going to bump it to Chiefs -5.5, maybe even higher. I really think the Chiefs come out and they don't make the mistakes Green Bay did, and that makes the game a lot harder for that offense.
You know what, guys?
Give me a score. Jordan, give me a score. Give me a score, Jordan.
Oh, Jordan is going to give you a score.
Score?
I wasn't talking. It's fine. I mean, cool.
I really think this is going to be a 31-21 Chiefs.
Okay. Matt, to you now, football expert, Matthew,
Yes.
2T's Gagne.
What do you want from me?
I'm sorry.
You just said you wanted to talk.
Yeah, you're the one that was talking. Tell me who you
I'm
think's
just
going to win the game.
excited for the weekend. You know, Saturday, Sunday, both good days of the week.
Was that a joke about the weekend being?
That's a halftime
show?
joke. That's a halftime.
You want
joke.
Matt? You can. This is a safe place. Jordan's upset because he just got that joke. Matt, are you one of those people that looks forward to the halftime show more than the game?
I mean, the halftime show is going to be decent. That's Toronto's very own.
And I mean, he's pretty fire.
Is he?
Pretty fire.
He's pretty fire, bro.
Pretty fire, bro.
But Matt, who's going to win the game?
You know what? I'm going to say I love me a dynasty. So, and dominant players. So I'm going to just hope both teams have fun and that probably the Chiefs are probably going to win. But like if Tom Brady won, that'd be cool too. So like, to be totally honest with you, I'm probably not going to watch Super Bowl because I don't care.
So just so we're clear, Jordan has it being an easy Chiefs win. Pat has it being a Chiefs win because Tom Brady's a fraud. And Matt hopes everybody has fun.
You're at the Super Bowl.
That's what I hope
You might
happens
only get
tonight.
there. You might only get there once or 10 times, depending on what.
That's what I hope happens for the Rumble. Everybody just has fun, and I win.
I hope we have fun, because I would hate it to get very excited for this and it not be good.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have some things after the fact that we'll have to think about for next time, but I do predict a good time, even though it'll be over Zoom.
Good times will be had.
Yes.
The only thing that could have made it better is that your beautiful face is going to have been in my home.
True.
I'm really, really excited for Carmella to not come in and Pat to be very upset about it.
I think you're dead wrong, and I think it's hurtful that you are betting against me because you don't want to be in a car with me, and you know it damn well.
I've been in a car with you plenty of times, and I know that would be doable. I know I could spend 2 hours with Jordan and not murder him. Really, it comes down to the lesser of two evils at this point if I lose. And I think that might be Jordan, just because I feel like Pat will be an insufferable little bitch if we have to ride around in a car.
Damn.
Yep.
I mean, at least if it's you and me, Matt, we'll learn some stuff about each other, Like, as I said before, we spent the least time together out of the three of us, so it'll just be a good time to get to know the two T's of Bros, Bumps, and Beers.
First question for you, Jordan. Even if we, you know what? Let's do a little test run here. Quick little test run.
Yeah, sure. What do you want?
What's your favorite color?
Favorite color? Green, but it would also be black, but most people don't consider that a color, so I'll go with green. Matt, what about you?
Oh, good Lord.
My favorite color is blue, but I also really enjoy black. But yes, I get the same thing when I say black.
You guys are twinsies.
I feel like most people would say black if people weren't like, oh, that's not a color, So that's my dumb people voice.
I like that. I appreciate that. You're going to do that. You know what? Now is a good time to segue into this story I have for you guys. I've been holding this in. I did not tell either of you because I wanted you to hear it for the first time on air. Okay.
All right.
Can't wait to be disappointed.
I was gearing up for the Royal Rumble. Wow. So I went to one of our favorite places in the city. I went to the Quality Inn.
The Q.
And I browsed a little bit. I went on a Thursday night. There was nobody there. I was walking around, looking around.
Oh, Thursday's my favorite time to go.
It's very dead.
No, could they bring in their shit on Friday, Saturday? That's the worst.
It was full. It was fully stocked.
It's usually there Thursday. They don't put it on socials till Friday.
Yeah, it was pretty full. So I'm looking around and I'm by myself. People are in and out. But then this other guy walks in and he starts browsing as well. I get in front of a bunch of cans. I'm looking through them. And on the left is the Cherry Barn. Woof. Okay. So I'm kind of looking in that general direction because there is another beer.
Hate to see it.
There's another beer that was close to it, and I will review it later. It is the Bright Water from Devil May Care. I'm looking in that general direction, and this guy starts striking up a conversation. And he goes, "Are you going to get that beer?" Shocked that another human being would want to interact with me during a pandemic. I look at him and I go, "Which beer?" He goes, "The Cherry Barn." I go, "I don't know. Have you ever had it?" Just starved for any social interaction other than people that I live with. So I'm
surprised he couldn't smell the desperation on you, like bad BO.
So he looks at it and he goes, "I haven't tried it, but I heard about it on a podcast."
Ooh.
Okay. Stick with me.
All right.
Okay? And I go, "Oh," trying to hide my excitement. And I go, "Which podcast?" And he goes, "Bros, Bumps, and Beers."
Shut up.
I shit you not. I shit you not. Okay? I shit you not. I could have went two ways here.
Do you know who he is?
No idea.
So we have no clue. We have no clue. It's not like my dad didn't just run into you there.
I did not know this person. I did not know this person. Okay?
Wow.
So I looked at him.
This is a good story.
I could have went two ways, and I could have went, "Oh, I'm on that podcast. I'm Pat Gagne." I did not go that way.
You got to keep your mystique.
Yes, I went, "Oh, Bros, Bumps, and Beers?" Question mark at the end. And he's like, "Yeah." What the object of me saying it again was.
Were you digging for information? Were you like, I want to hear what he thinks? Is that what
No. I wanted him to recognize my voice.
Oh, you conceited. Fuck.
Yeah.
You're so conceited.
Yeah. He said, yeah. I'm like, "Oh, so it's called Bros, Bumps, and Beers." And I said it again. And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Maybe I'll have to."
Now he just thinks you're a deaf idiot.
He's fucking deaf. This guy deaf.
So he goes, I go, "Oh, maybe I'll have to give it a listen." So they said it wasn't good. Yeah, they didn't like it. I'm not going to touch it. You should give it a listen. It's pretty good.
With a
End of
1919 of podcasts, baby.
And
I'm okay
end
with
of
that.
interaction. I didn't even. It was the first time that's ever happened to me. And Jordan goes back to when he was at Sucrums. And they kind of,
Sucrums.
that was my moment. I was like, I could have just been like, yeah, that's my podcast. I'm on that podcast. You know, really played it cool. Instead, Bros, Bobs, and Beers.
I liked it. Yo, I think playing it cool is the way to go. You just have to be prepared for negative feedback. Because I've done that before with fuck, I can't remember what it was. It was something like back in the day in like university. I had to do something for broadcasting school that somewhat went out to the public. And somehow someone I didn't know brought it up and they're like, yeah, it's fucking edited really weird. I'm sitting in the corner like, fuck you, man. I put a lot of time into that.
Good.
But yeah, so like I'm not trying to. It's a low key brag. I mean, people listen. That's cool. We don't have like there's 1,000 people out there who listen. So hey, guy who listens, I met you. You were a nice person.
That's
Said the
pretty
name
funny.
of the podcast three times.
That's what
Guy who met Pat. He's not deaf.
No.
He froze. He was excited, but wanted to contain it, and probably went home and told his wife, "Guess what? You'll never guess what happened."
But I'm looking forward to Matt's moment because I think like Matt is least equipped to handle the surprise.
Look. Here's what
I
I
know,
think's
and
gonna
here's
happen.
and I
That's
don't mean
gonna be
that as
someone-
a chirp. I don't mean that as a chirp. I feel like I handle surprises a certain way, which you all saw before COVID at the party that was had for me. I know Pat, I've seen Pat surprised. I feel like Matt's surprise is a whole lot of like red face and potential breathing. Just a lot of breathing. I think
just
it's
picture
a
Matt.
lot of excitement.
I picture someone picking Matt out of a crowd and he goes, "Hey, are you on that podcast?" And he'll just look and go, "Tooties!"
Oh, yeah,
and
just
just
start
walk
screaming.
away. And then Matt'll walk away like, "Fucking nailed that. Fucking nailed that interaction."
Pat, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Not bad, eh? Not
Yeah,
bad, eh?
I thought your story was going to be about when you went skating on the weekend, but this was much better.
I'll save that for another time. That's another banger, but we'll keep
God
that.
damn,
I don't know
So-
about that. That was pretty good.
that
Though.
was solid. I mean, that's an interesting moment, especially because you don't expect it, right? But that's really awesome to hear that people are.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's probably a good thing he didn't ask. You didn't tell him, because then he would have asked you if you had tried Cherry Barn.
Yeah, and then you're
and
fucked. Well,
then
no,
you're
because then
screwed.
you can be like, "Oh yeah, you heard what I said."
Yeah, it sucked.
You know what? That might have been a fun.
And
way
then the
to go,
guy turns
too.
around and goes, "Oh yeah, I actually brewed this. I work for Half Pints." And you'd
Oh,
be like,
yeah.
"Oh yeah, fuck."
Fuck me, right?
Yeah, no, Pat. You know what? That also could have been a fun way to go. To be like, "Oh yeah, no, that happens to be me. It's ass."
Yeah. So let's now that we've talked about me buying the beer, let's talk about some beer, shall we? So like I said, I am currently drinking the Devil May Care release, Brightwater, which is a New Zealand Pilsner, a little shrimp on the bobby. You know what I'm talking
A
about?
shrimp on the bobby.
Is that right? Is that the right country?
I mean,
Did
it's
you say New-
Australia,
did
but
you
New
say
Zealand
Australia?
is kind of the same thing.
No, I said
No,
New
it's
Zealand.
Oh no, New Zealand Kiwis don't do that.
Oh, they just don't have COVID because they locked off their country.
Isn't it-
Kiwis
Wasn't
are
it
fuzzy.
nice?
Kiwis are fuzzy, aren't they? And green.
I don't know why they're called Kiwis. I just know. But isn't that like a concept? Like, can you imagine you're
Just gonna
just sitting
ignore
in
my
New
fruit
Zealand
joke.
and you're like, "Hey, just shut down Auckland."
Yeah. just
Okay,
shut it
we're
down.
safe now. You know what I mean? Like, it's. I think there's only one international air. I don't know. I want to go there. I've been looking at it for years because I want to go see the All Blacks play South
I
Africa.
want my fruit joke to be acknowledged.
And Matt, your Kiwi joke was fucking amazing.
It doesn't need. It could be a negative, and I don't care. I just wanted.
Okay,
to be
then it
acknowledged.
sucked. Then it was not funny.
Why was it I didn't think it was a joke. I thought he was legitimately asking us like why they're called Kiwis.
Oh, that's why you answered that question.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought he was like, "Oh, why are they called
All right,
Kiwis?"
guys,
Review
all
the
right,
beer,
guys,
Pat.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah, hurry up,
keep it
Pat,
together.
fuck.
Keep it together. I got the New Zealand Pilsner, the Brightwater from Devil May Care. Actually, it's dedicated to, let me get this correct, Nobel Prize winner, the father of nuclear physics, Ernest Rutherford. There is a big, long description of what he did. They don't exactly say it. I looked it up, but he did something cool with nuclear physics, won a Nobel Prize, and now has a beer dedicated to him. And let me tell you about this beer.
Pat, I'll explain it to you later. Big nuclear physicist over here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you're
big
big.
nuke guy.
Big Nobel Prize guy, eh?
Big nuke
Yeah,
guy.
so it's 5% alcohol. I will just say, I expected this to be boring. This is 100% one of the easiest drinking beers I've had in a long time. This is very simple. It is done right. It is probably one of the best Pilsners I've ever drank. I will say.
Wow.
Really?
It is so damn good. This is, again, one of those beers I could drink all night. Keep feeding them to me and I'll drink them all night. It's very approachable. It's not too harsh. It's just spot on, really good. Devil May Care with another banger. I think they put out such great shit. So for me, on Untapped, you follow me at Pat Gagne. At Pat Gagne, you could follow me on Untapped. And I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I think this is great. I think it's the simplicity of it makes it great, and I really enjoyed it. So 4 out of 5 on Untapped. And
awesome,
Jordan.
Thank you. I was going to ask to go next because I feel like it's every time that I go last and then have to pull up the beer news right after that calamity ensues. So having me go first or second.
Calamity. That's a
smart.
fun word.
I love the word calamity. All right. So tonight I have the County Sour series, the Dark Berliner. That's the TCB sour, notes of chocolate, notes of, I think, mixed fruit. You got some cherries in there. It looks like you got some raspberries. So yeah, on the open, on the nose, chocolate's unmissable. You smell it right away if you give yourself a good sniff. Matt?
Finish your description and then I have a question.
Well, why'd you raise your hand?
Because I wanted to remember that I had a question.
What a goddamn train wreck. What a train wreck.
All right, so you raised your hand. Of course I'm going to call on you. I'm not going to leave you. That's how you get...
That's teaching 101. You don't call on the guy right away. You let him simmer a little bit.
That's how you get a frozen shoulder.
Focus, Jordan. Continue.
Okay, so I thought Matt was going to get frozen shoulder. I wanted to help him. So County Sour Series, the Dark Berliner. So when you open it, chocolate on the nose right away. It's a beer that smells better than it tastes. Now, that doesn't mean it tastes bad. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that from the smell, you're expecting something. You're expecting Flavor City. And what you get is like actually a more subtle notes of chocolate, like very subtle chocolate, very subtle fruit. So it's not overpowering. For me, I prefer my sours to be a more fruity, frankly, like more tropical, more fun, more fruit forward. And so this was a bit of a different take. It was almost like a slightly dark sour. I thought it was all right. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. For me, that's like an average score. That means if someone handed me one, I'd drink it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to get it. So that's the County Sour Dark Berliner Sour from Trans Canada, 3 out of 5. If you wanted to get into sours, but you like dark beers, this is maybe a good place to start. Matt,
that was my question. How is a chocolate beer sour?
It's not. It's like you almost have. It's subtle enough that like you wouldn't notice the chocolate on the palate. That's how I felt drinking
it's more on the nose. Okay.
It's more of like they deaden the fruit with a little bit of dark chocolate. That's how I would describe it. But it wasn't. Again, it wasn't bad. It just like wasn't what I want in a sour. So yeah.
All right. Over to me. So I have the Tricolore.
Oh, the Neopolitan.
Yes, from Barnhammer. So it's a Neapolitan ice cream based milk stout. It comes in at 5.7%. It's creamy. It's smooth. It's got. See, I'm gonna let you guys hang with those arms there.
Yeah, I'll ask it after.
Ow, my arm!
Go ahead, Max. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Whatever. So first of all, now I lost my train of thought. I was rolling there. And then you guys started making
Neapolitan milk stout made by Barnhammer.
Yes. So it's the first thing I'm going to talk about is the mouthfeel. It is creamy. It is velvety. It is exactly what you would think if you were to melt ice cream and turn it into a beer. This is the opposite of what you just drank. The smell, not great.
I agree.
It's not a super, like, you smell it and you're expecting to smell like the sweetness of like an ice cream. Not really.
Nope.
Then you taste it and like I said, you get that good mouthfeel. You get lots of strawberry.
Yes.
Which is why it's good. It's good. It tastes like Neapolitan ice cream.
Yes.
But what was the worst part of Neapolitan ice cream?
Strawberry.
Strawberry.
The strawberry. My parents insisted on buying Neapolitan ice cream all the time, and nobody ever ate the strawberry. And I never
Sons of
understood why they
bitches.
did that.
Sons of bitches with those
You
Neapolitan
know
ice
what,
cream.
Matt? I was so curious how you were going to rate this because I had it too, and the rating almost went against everything I've ever asked for because it had the flavor, like it tasted like what it said it would. It was strong flavor. The mouthfeel was good. It's just for me, it wasn't supposed to be a beer. Like I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
It's everything I thought I'd want, and I just didn't love it.
It was exactly what it advertised, but that was the problem.
Yeah.
My problem with Neapolitan ice cream is the strawberry. I'm
Yeah.
not a huge strawberry fan, and it was very like that's the big flavor you get. So, like it's a good beer, and I'm
Yeah.
sure people who really enjoy that flavor love this beer, and because there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. My personal perspective, and if you follow me on Untapped at Gagne Matt with 2 T's, I'm going to give this a 3 solely based on the fact that I'm just
Wow.
not a big strawberry fan.
Okay, so I can't remember what I gave it, but I'll tell you this is I had a feeling because that was between for me that was the other one I was gonna review this week. it just so happened we split on that, so that went well. But I don't know where this fits. I think anyone should try it if they're okay with stouts because I haven't had a beer that tastes like that before. Like that Neapolitan flavor, that for me was new. If you like Neapolitan, I think you're really gonna like that beer. But I think it's more of an experience beer. It's like Barnhammer put out something pretty impressive, even though it's maybe not our cup of tea. I thought they really did a good job.
I believe I had, if it wasn't Barnhammer, it was a different beer company at Beer Fest that came out with a Neapolitan craft beer.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first time I ever tried one. And I was like, oh, this is interesting, but I don't know if this is something I would buy. You know?
On a regular, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
see what you're saying. I feel like, I just feel like it's not meant.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I will say Barnhammer, something they do is if they advertise something, so this is a Neapolitan ice cream milk stout.
Yeah, they don't tend to miss.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like the Fog Prophet, their Earl Grey Saison, it tastes like Earl Grey tea.
It tastes like Earl Grey tea.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got it. I got about halfway through it. I know I'm not reviewing that, but I got it when it originally came out. I got about halfway through and I was like, yeah, I've had enough. This is about where I'd be done my tea.
I took a couple of them up to Pinawa once again. It was when we were allowed to do it. And I think it was because it was in the summer. That thing came out twice, didn't it?
Like June and then
it was in the summer and my fiance's mom there tried it and ended up drinking both. She's like, oh, it's like a beer tea. And I was like, well, maybe we found the target market,
exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, ladies who like tea, who don't drink beer, bam, Earl Grey.
But when they advertise something, they hit it. And so
We'll hit you with a recap. I had the Bright Water from Devil May Care. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on tap. You follow me at Pat Gagne. Jordan had the Dark Burline. Am I saying that correct?
Burliner at JSco 55. I almost forgot. Fuck.
He gave it a 3 out of 5. You can follow him at JSco 55. And Matt had the Tricolore from Barnhammer. He gave it a 3.5 on Untapped.
No, I gave it a 3.
Oh, sorry, 3 out of 5 on Untapped. You can follow him at Gagne Matt with 2 T's. And now we throw it to Jordan for the Winnipeg Beer News of the Week.
Hello. All right, beer news time. Once again, I pulled it up and I'm ready. Pat, thank you. Oh, no, I wrote beer news here this week. Good job, Jordan. Past Jordan really coming through for future Jordan. All right, so Kilter Brewing, Juicy is back. I shouldn't have to tell you more than that, but they're brewing fresh cans again. So give it a run. I think right now they have Waves, Juicy, Always Sunny, Space Jam, and Fog Machine available. So that's about as much as Kilter puts out at once. So feel free to give that a 1. Speaking of Kilter, last week they brought out the Nanaimo. It was a small batch. Matt, you had it. And I didn't. Pat didn't. Did you have it, Matt?
Yeah.
Quick thoughts, Matt. Very quick thoughts.
It was okay.
Did you follow the pro tip? Oh, no. Sorry. I thought the pro tip was for drinking. It's not. Never mind. Vessel Beer has come out with a triple IPA.
Jesus.
All right. 9.5 APV with grapefruit, pine, and light melon notes. With all due respect, Vessel, that sounds like the beer I'd hate the most on the face of the planet. but I'm sure it was delicious. Just not my cup
It's
of tea.
called dank.
Dank. That's yes. Pat reviewed the Brightwater, so I won't go into that. OGC has made a new can, a new label for the Belgian Spirit wheat beer. Go take
Which
a
is
look. It's
very
blue.
misleading.
Yes, it's blue and it's beautiful. Pat fairly asked the question, "Is this new?" And I didn't know, but luckily Matt knew. So thank you, Matt.
By the way, just real quick, Jordan, that Belgian Esprit, if you've never had it, that is
It's good.
let's drink 8 of these.
Yeah, it's
and
really good.
We'll be okay. Yeah.
Nonsuch has Farmhouse Ale number 3. On the nose, you're going to get saison. We're getting very saison-y around the city right now. It's not my cup of tea. Tis the season. All right, forgive me as I'm rolling through a whole bunch of wrestling stuff, and that is it. Pat, back to you. The Winnipeg Bear News of the Week.
Thank you, Jordan. All right, fellas, we have arrived. It is now time. The Rumble event is about to start. Looks like we're going to get Goldberg against Drew McIntyre. We will hit pause on our TVs. I have it recorded. Nothing can go wrong. I'm excited.
Oh boy.
We are going to jump into it. The next time we talk to you after the break, we will have dissected, we will have digested both Royal Rumble matches, and we will come back to you, and we will have one happy winner and 2 very big losers. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Just finished up watching Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Jordan, again, big sad. Matt came and watched the Royal Rumble, but other than that, nothing to report.
I picked a team. I picked 2 teams.
Jordan, I'm going to allow you. Could you tell us what the results were, the final tallies of the Royal Rumble draft?
Sure. Once again, here's how it worked. The 30th elimination, if your person you selected was number 30, you got 30 points, such forth with 29, 28, and so on down through 1, and apparently 0, which made a big time appearance this year. So Matt, a rousing showing at 116 points is what Matt got. Jordan, second place with 157 points. Thanks, Maya Yim. And in first place, Pat Gagne with 176 points. In the end, Pat's poopy pants strategy of not allowing extra points for winners almost ruined him, but he got away with it. So that's how the cookie crumbled.
Let's get one thing fucking straight here. I picked 10 people. We all picked 10 people. Every single one of my picks were in the Royal Rumble. You guys picked people that were not in the Royal Rumble. Matt picked Aleister Black. Jordan picked Samoa Joe, who's on commentary.
How was Jey Uso not in the Royal Rumble? How was Jey Uso not in the Royal Rumble?
Asterisk, I will give Matt some leeway here, and Jordan. Maya Yim apparently did have some COVID issues, so she had close contacts. Obviously, I think her husband is Keith Lee, husband or boyfriend, so he was out, which is why you saw Ricochet, which was hilarious because he actually lost a match, so he couldn't be in the Rumble, but now he was in. And Jey Uso was also not in it. You can only assume that he was a close contact as well. So that kind of put a damper on some of the picks, but again, 10 for 10, picking people in the Rumble. And you know what? You know what that means? I don't have to drive around the perimeter for 2 hours, so I'm okay with that. But we digress. Let's go right into it, fellas. Let's start with the Women's Royal Rumble. Without the idea of points were given, you guys are both big, huge losers. I am a huge winner. What did we think? General impressions of the Women's Royal Rumble.
You're also super gracious in winning.
You know what? I don't win too often, so you know what? I win. So I'm going to tell you that I'm the winner, and I'm the winner all day long.
They don't value my ass.
I thought the Women's Rumble was pretty good. I thought both Rumbles were pretty good. I didn't think there was many spots that were like horrendously bad.
Hey, I don't think either one will go down as one of the all-time greats.
No, of course not.
They were both just solid. They were solid.
They're both going to have asterisks on them. You're not going to watch them. There's no fans.
Yeah.
Like there's no real rewatch value for me aside if you're picking apart the wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned spots. Like there wasn't a lot of spots this year, which I think makes a good Mania great is when you add in some cool spots.
Rumble.
Rumble. What did I say?
You said Mania, but it's okay. We're on the
I'm
road.
very discombobulated. I've already.
Were you picking for Mania today? Does that explain what happened?
Maybe I was. Who knows? Maybe Alistair Block come back at Mania, but there wasn't a lot of spots, and there wasn't a lot of spots, and I think taking out the crowd for, and we'll get to some of the surprise entrants and all that, but taking out the crowd for that decreases, I think, a little bit the value of the Rumble. So
I think what you have to look at, we've talked about it before, is like last year's Royal Rumble was your prototypical what a really good Royal Rumble is. It has a story at the start, a story in the middle, and then your finale. And last year's had that with Drew McIntyre winning, Brock Lesnar at the start, and it all kind of told a story. This was kind of just, okay, everyone's coming in. I think my one beef with the Women's Royal Rumble was the ring filled up really quick. Titan time was in effect. There was no way there was the same interval between every entrant. And the ring felt really full for a long time of that match.
Shotzi came in at 5. Shotzi Blackheart. She was the first one eliminated. But I want to say there was like 9 people in the ring when she got eliminated. Already.
Yeah, there was a lot. It felt full all the time. And Matt, you brought up the idea that there was surprise entrances. There was no real fans. But I think they didn't have a lot of legends in this match. And I don't think you need them anymore. The first Women's Royal Rumble was like a celebration of women's wrestling. Now it's we got the talent. We don't need them in there. We don't need those big surprises for a little while at least. That's what I think.
Speaking of surprise entrance, so if you look at, I'm not going to count anyone from NXT as a surprise entrant.
No.
Because NXT, you're on the roster or whatever. So Naomi, I guess that could be a comeback.
Yeah.
Jillian Hall, who honestly,
like what the fuck?
What was the ring announcer's name? That's who I thought was coming out.
No, yeah,
Jillian.
Lillian Garcia.
Lillian. Yeah.
I was like, oh my! I didn't know she wrestled, and then Victoria,
who looked really good. She looked good in the match.
Mickey James, I guess.
Well, no, she's a talent on the roster. She's not a
Alicia Fox.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would count, I guess. And other than that, everybody was NXT.
I think what the last 2 Women's Rumbles have done is just showcased how far the division's come. I felt they showcased NXT wrestlers, brought them in. I thought they brought the right ones in. I think the only one we missed, Jordan, you would agree with us, Raquel Gonzalez, probably a little bit of a miss on that one.
Yeah, definitely. I had high hopes, just thinking she got a big push in NXT leading up to this. And I did have a feeling there'd be a lot of NXT talent. I don't think I was wrong. I think we had like 5 or 6.
There's a lot.
I would count Rhea as a part of that too at this point. Yeah, I just had a feeling came back to bite me in the end.
Am I wrong in saying that you could have swapped out Santana Garrett, who I didn't know existed?
I still don't know who she is.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
And put Gonzalez in, and then probably would have added a little bit more pop to it.
There has to be some more people behind the scenes who are affected by the Mia Yim thing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some NXT people who are also supposed to be there who weren't.
Yeah. Like, we don't have that. That's not confirmed. That's just what we saw on Twitter. That's our source.
We know.
But it makes sense.
It's pretty widely reported that either Mia Yim or Keith Lee had it, and therefore that extrapolated out. So,
but I think what it did through the whole time, like there's always filler people in a Rumble, but I felt like the fillers in the Women's Rumble this year, I felt like everybody, if they won, it'd be like, holy shit, they won, but I wouldn't be totally surprised. Like Mandy Rose comes in, who I had, by the way, picked her in my draft.
Yeah.
The draft that I won. She was in there. And if she would have won, it would have been like, okay, they're trying something. So you didn't feel like it was like anybody in there besides like Jillian Hall or whatever. It was like, okay, these are legitimate women's competitors in WWE. And they make sense to me.
You know what? I just remembered this. The one thing I didn't like is I really hated the R-Truth spot.
Yeah, that was weird.
Why? It doesn't need to. If you want to do it, don't do it in the Women's Rumble. Like, it's a Women's Rumble. This is multiple years now that you've included a man in some way.
Santina. I felt like that was a slap in the face.
Santina was stupid, trying to be funny. R-Truth being like wrong Rumble was dumb.
And I think what ended up happening too, which is dumb. So Alicia Fox pins R-Truth, then R-Truth pins her, and then later on in the show, Rosenberg pinned R-Truth, and he's now the champ. 24/7
It's
champ.
insanely
So
dumb.
they could have done it there and left it out of the Women's Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
and I think it would have been fine.
We've had 3 women's Royal Rumbles, and in 2 of them, we've put a
4. This is
male
the 4th.
comedy. Sorry,
4?
so we've had 4. I thought we've had 3.
Yeah.
We've had 4, and in half of them, we've had a male comedy act in the middle. So, what are we doing here?
I just think the 24/7 title, it's like it's this behind the scenes joke, and everybody's like, "Let's do this. It would be funny," and it's just not funny. It's not funny anymore. It's served its purpose.
No.
It hasn't been funny since Drake Maverick and R-Truth stopped feuding over it. It's just not anymore. So
I agree.
final 3. I didn't really care for the 4th person, but it was Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair. That's
It was
dynamite.
Natalia was the 4th.
Yeah, because like whatever.
I'm just happy she got in the ring. I got really worried there.
You got really worried there. Watching Jordan, if you watch he's pretty funny when he was worried when she wouldn't get in the ring and she would get taken over. But yeah, I think those 3 finalists, that's where you are with your women's division, and that's a damn good women's division.
And that brings me to kind of my one. WWE has done a really, really good job with their women's division. My one knock of it is you look through this list, there were clear people who you thought could win, especially once Bayley went out when she did. She went out right in the middle around that 12 spot. She went out 12th. Now you're leaning on your Charlottes, your Bianca, and like if you did not think Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Charlotte Flair were going to be in the final 4, like you're not watching wrestling lately.
Yeah. No,
it makes me happy. Like I love those 3 wrestlers. Like I do too,
but I'm just saying there's not that depth that you maybe.
I think WWE's always had elite players, and they set themselves up for this. As they have elite players, and then they have a whole lot of mid card like wash.
I don't think they have a lot of mid card in the women's division right now. I think it's the top, which you saw in the final 3, and then everybody's kind of below that. So you got to kind of build up that up.
I kind of disagree with that, because if we talk about like the best women's wrestlers in WWE, we're probably going to talk about Bianca, Rhea, Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, Asuka. Like that's 6 off the top of my head.
And those are interchangeable.
Sasha Banks, that's set. Or not, sorry, not Sasha. Pregnant, Jesus Christ.
Becky,
that's 7. So it's like, and that's like, I would call those 7 big carders. And then I would list like a pretty decent list of like Sonya Deville, Ruby Riott, like people who eat up mid-card stuff for you. And then you're not even talking about NXT that has like solid talent, like Dakota Kai and like Gonzalez and solid talent. I think if they gave it more time, it has depth. Like I would argue it's better than a lot of the male shit they're putting out there now anyways. So yeah, I think it has a ton of depth.
And I'm actually looking at a list of women that participated this year. There's 5 women who are.
I didn't even mention Alexa Bliss.
Yeah,
and Carmella even you could put up there.
And Carmella,
But there's at least 5 women on this list that if you inserted them right now into AEW, they would be
top of the line.
They'd be up in the top of their card. Like a Ruby Riott would be at the top of AEW's card.
I'm not kidding. I think if you take out every single like old school superstar or like non-rostered superstar that was in it, I think every single woman on this list is the best AEW woman's talent.
I'd agree with you.
I'd even say like Mandy Rose goes over there and like changes her gimmick up to be a little more edgy, and she's off and running.
Yeah. All right. So
she's in the top 5.
Bianca Belair wins. The too early WrestleMania prediction: Bianca Belair faces off against who at WrestleMania? Jordan, you go first.
I think Sasha Banks is a good person for her to work with. That would be my pick. Yeah, I don't know. I think Sasha loses to Bianca. I think if you build her right, I think Bianca can be a big-time star. So I think that's a really good match. I don't think it has to be like a feud of gimmicks. I think it's just 2 really talented people who can put on a pretty good match.
Yeah. Matt?
Well, I agree with Jordan. I think it's probably going to be Sasha Banks, but if I'm going to just throw somebody out there, just because, I mean, let's go with a little hot take here. Mm-hmm. I think you could see, I think maybe you could get a Carmella reign out of this, and then maybe have Bianca. It's not a sexy
Yeah.
Mania match, but I think you could see Bianca, Carmella, and even Sasha in like a 3-way.
That was shorter than a normal Matt pause.
So
Yeah, he cut out a little bit there, but Jordan, I'm kind of with you. Like, I want to see Bianca Belair against Sasha Banks. I don't think Asuka is going to be your champion going into WrestleMania. I think Charlotte's going to get it, and I think we get a Ripley and Charlotte rematch. I really think
no,
so.
you don't. No, Alexa Bliss is going to have that title.
I don't think she needs it.
She doesn't need it, but she's gonna have it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can never figure out where Alexa Bliss fits with that gimmick. I think you could just put her anywhere and she'd be electric.
Is that your new word? Is that your?
I
new
love
word?
that word. I'm electric's my word right now.
All right. Is that good? Anything else on the Women's Rumble? That
No,
was that went well
solid.
for me, so I was very happy with the Women's Rumble. I was
And
leading
then-
after the Women's Rumble for those.
Yeah,
who
and
don't-
Amazingly enough, at 67 points, that went way better than the other one.
Yeah.
So we move on to the men's, which I showed everyone my wrestling knowledge and dominated the competition. This was, if you had to compare it to the women's Royal Rumble, do you think it
You
was
guys should
better?
have given me Sheamus. I still would have lost.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah, it didn't matter. I think the Women's Rumble was better top to bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the men's
You
Rumble
thought the
lacked.
women's was?
Yeah.
I think the men's Rumble lacked a big moment. Like Christian coming back, but like we talked about it when we were recording, Christian's like forever just edge light. Like he comes out, it should be a grand moment of him coming back, but it's like there's no fans.
I think
my God,
the
he's back.
excitement of the women's one was you are watching an active changing of the guard.
Yeah.
Like not a changing, maybe not, but like I think the legitimate ascension
Adding.
of Bianca and Rhea. Like
Yeah.
it's legit that they're up top now, and I think you have some very talented mid card and top card women's matches. Like you could conceivably have 2 to 3 women's matches every Raw and every SmackDown, and it be quality content. I think.
I would agree with you. It was just, again, it's not one of those ones you're going to go back and watch. Again, it's missing fans. It's missing those big moments. But I mean, Matt was very excited when he saw Carlito. All he could say was, "Man, look at Carlito. He's been working out.
Yeah, Carlito looked fucking yoked,
What a
man.
He
monster,
was
man."
a beast.
Carlito looks like he's been eating steroids.
Yes. Ike Pro.
Oh,
Ike
sorry.
Pro.
Can we have a quick mention? Worst moment of the night was the Bad Bunny thing. That was cringe
Oh,
times a million. I just
First
want
of all-
to throw it in there, and we'll
first
keep
of all,
it moving.
we had to Google who Bad Bunny was because I had no idea who he was. And then the fact that he jumps off the top rope and he's coming back for WrestleMania. It's gonna
terrible.
be a thing.
Booker T, Bad Bunny against Morrison and Miz. For sure.
Like, I can't even muster up an ounce of giving a shit about that. Like, that match screams pee break,
Yeah, and it was
which hopefully we'll be able to watch it together.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you look at it. I made a list of big moments. Christian's return, Edge coming back was a big moment, and he started off the match, and him and Orton continued their feud. Orton disappeared for most of the match, which I felt worked. Not too sure how you guys felt about it.
It was predictable.
Was it?
Well, he's out of the match, but he's going to come back. Is
Yeah. Okay.
what I mean by predictable.
Yeah.
I thought it worked well. I didn't hate it. I just thought
I think we're just going to get Edge and Randy Orton at WrestleMania again. I think Randy's going to win a belt somehow, and that's just going to keep going.
I think that'll be fun is it seems like they're setting up Big E, AJ Styles, which I think is a great person for Big E to work with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's fantastic.
different
okay.
shows though, eh? They're different shows.
Oh, are they? I thought Matt Riddle had a really good showing. Like,
Yeah.
I thought he just continues to show I think he works different, and he's done a really good job of melding wrestling and MMA together. It's fun. It's fun to watch
By
him work.
different, you mean stiff? Yes.
Stiff, but like it is different. I don't think I've ever seen someone work like Riddle does. Like it's very different the way he flows together his moveset and how he interacts with people in the ring.
Yeah, and like I think you're gonna go on Twitter, wrestling Twitter, which is the most volatile, negative thing out there, but it's just they're gonna be pissed that Daniel Bryan didn't win. I thought Daniel Bryan should win this year. Am I upset that Edge won? No, I think it works for his big comeback and just in general just makes sense. But
I don't
yeah,
think Daniel Bryan needs to win because he's leaving. So what are you gonna do? Put him in a match at WrestleMania that he's not gonna win?
Yeah, that's like it because the last he's about 2. I think he's got one more Mania in him. And is he going to win that Royal Rumble?
He's
and
going
then
to have
win?
his Mania is like his true main wrestler swan song in the mid card of WrestleMania. And then right after, we're going to get Booker T and Bad Bunny and go take a piss.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. Okay, so I got 3 things real quick. Edge and Orton, I agree, Pat. They're on some kind of collision course. I don't know how. I don't want to see Edge or Orton take the belt off McIntyre.
What
I
if
think he
they do it
deserves to
before
carry
the
it to Mania.
What if they do it before Mania?
What?
Maybe
Get
have their
Edge and
match.
Orton out the way before Mania, and then find a way to let that.
They could
leapfrog
have a match for the main event. Yeah, they could do
Something
that at
like
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Second thing, the Daniel Bryan thing. I still think we're gonna see him in a big spot at Mania because I think we're headed towards Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns.
God, I want to say, because Elimination Chamber is the last time when they put their title on the line, and that's who decides. They decide who goes. I think Daniel Bryan beats Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber, and they have a match.
Nope. Roman is not losing that title for a long time. And you guys,
I totally agree.
I don't know why you keep Drew McIntyre. Roman's not losing the title. Like, this is their golden horse.
Yeah, but I thought Drew McIntyre was going to lose the title for a long time. Then he loses it for a fucking week.
Roman's not losing the title until he faces Brock at SummerSlam.
And I don't think he's losing it there. I think he's getting the Brock rub.
Yeah.
I just don't know where you go from Brock. That's why I think, and yeah, Brock's not a good face. I don't know. That's why I don't think there's anyone like who deserves to beat him at this point. Roman's not losing the title until he decides to.
Daniel Bryan can go into Mania. He can lose to Roman Reigns, and it doesn't bother Daniel Bryan's character or his status. So that's why I think it works.
Yeah.
My third and final thing, we saw Seth Rollins come back, only to assume that he is going to be around. Who's Seth Rollins with going forward?
That's the tough thing. Like, I felt like there was so many guys that you're trying to, because it's WrestleMania season, you're trying to slot them into different spots. I don't know. That's my issue. It's the first time he comes back. Usually when a guy comes back, it's very clear who he's going after. I have no idea. Is he coming back next week? I don't know.
Do you think Christian's hanging around?
No, come on. No.
I think he is. I think if Edge is there, Christian's going to stick. I don't think he's going to wrestle, but Christian's going to be Edge's
You know what? Braun did come back on SmackDown, but he's a Raw superstar. There was a little interaction there at the end in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I could see it maybe being Seth and Braun.
I think we get one more Edge and Christian tag match before Mania.
Maybe something easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at the difference between the two Royal Rumbles and you wanted to pick between the two, I think one was very much like if you're like me and you very much want to see the younger talent be pushed more and see WWE really turn a page. For example, like not using Goldberg on this pay-per-view would be awesome. So if you want to, I want to see them like turn the page and really step hard into their younger talent and just go with it and let it work itself out. And then I think if you're an old head and you kind of want, like, you will like the men's match more if you were more like, oh, like Hurricane and Kane and Edge and Christian were back. Like, if I feel like if you're an
okay, before you continue, Hurricane coming back was awful. Kane coming back, I feel like Kane never leaves long enough for us to miss him.
Hurricane was a stopgap because of COVID, because people got diagnosed or had close contacts or whatever, and therefore they needed somebody. Hurricane is a producer. They're like, hey, Shane, you want to jump in there? And he's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I don't like it. Just continues to frustrate me. Like, you have the deepest men's roster in wrestling. You can't tell me that you couldn't have grabbed Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano. Like, I don't care who it is. You don't need Hurricane Helms, and you don't. I get, but you didn't even need Carlito. Like, what? It didn't mean anything.
I thought the Carlito one was fun. I thought he was.
Yeah, but like, what does
Could Carlito be your MVP this year?
No.
Where he comes back and it's actually for a run?
Like, this is the problem. Like, what does Hurricane do that someone else on the roster couldn't have gotten some shine for, right? Like, everyone else, you're giving them experience and TV time, and Hurricane doesn't do anything for anyone at this point. It's just more shitty booking on the men's side. I can't help but wonder if Vince is like, has no interest in the women's division, so he doesn't do anything with it. And then that's why it's just continues to get better and better. because
You're not wrong.
Yeah, maybe someone else pulling the strings behind
I
the
hope
scenes.
it's Triple H, because I feel like Triple H has done an awesome job with NXT, and like he continues to do a great job with NXT.
I would like to touch on it because you're both haters on him. I thought Damian Priest had a great showing in this Rumble. I thought he looked really good.
I don't hate him. I'm not a hater of him. I thought he had a good showing too.
I don't see the rocket
just
ship.
think
He
there's
screams
something-
mid-card to me.
You know what
There's
it is
something
though?
missing.
I think with Jordan, you love NXT and he doesn't fit into NXT. But
Well,
you
I think
bring
he
him to
fits
the
main roster better than
yeah,
NXT.
he comes to the main roster. He fits better here, and I think if you give him someone to talk who talks for him, some sort of manager, I think he can be the upper echelon of their roster.
You will never be. I don't think you'll ever be upper echelon if you can't talk.
Brock Lesnar can't
You
talk.
have
He's
to
upper
be-
Yeah,
echelon.
but Brock Lesnar's like there's exceptions because they're freaks of human beings. And Brock got Paul Heyman, and I don't think there's a lot of Paul Heymans rolling.
Bobby Lashley can't talk.
Bobby Lashley
got
is
MVP.
not fun. I don't watch Bobby Lashley and think that's enjoyable. Like he's Brock Lesnar light. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's just overall, I think if you're gonna do a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, I think you go thumbs in the middle for both.
hold on.
Oh,
Before
you're
we
not
do
done?
that,
Oh, okay.
no, before we do that,
Oh, right.
yes, we
Thank
cover
you.
Rumbles. We are covering the Rumbles. Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns beat the living piss out of each other for 25 minutes.
It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
It was a
Kevin
great
Owens.
match.
Kevin Owens is going to go down as one of the most underrated workers in WWE history. 100%.
And he's going to be in WWE. I don't see him leaving.
No, he's not going anywhere.
He'll be someone we look back on. He'll be our Edge or our Christian or someone like that, right?
I think he's more of a Mick Foley, but a
Yeah,
little more
we compare him to
talented.
Mick Foley a lot. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fair. I like
Yeah.
that. All right, so let's bring up a big elephant in the room here that we had a big blow up on the end of the men's rumble because one of us has a chronic issue with learning how to use televisions. Now,
Yes.
next week we'll tell you about there have been 2 times where Pat has ruined WrestleManias. 2 times Pat has ruined WrestleManias, and Pat this time. We're live recording the Rumble, and Pat, now we're watching it live, right? Like we're literally watching it as it happens. And Pat, like a psycho, instead of watching WWE Network, is watching the recording of WWE Network. So he's watching the recording channel, if you will. 51 for those of you on Bell MTS, okay? So Pat, we pause so we can sync up the recordings, and sometimes we just fall behind a bit. And what does Pat do? Well, Pat the genius doesn't record for enough time, and
Which is ludicrous based on the other 2 stories you'll hear next week.
yeah, this is literally the fool me the once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, fool me a 3rd time, I'm an idiot. And so that is
Bingo.
where we're at. So Pat does that, and what happens? Pat goes, hey guys, you know what? Actually, watch the YouTube to find out because he shouldn't cut an ounce of it. Long story short, Pat jumped ahead and slightly ruined a good chunk of the Rumble. So
May I defend myself?
if you want to,
You can try.
we're already lining up
All
the
right.
execution squad. So
Okay,
if you
so-
want to say a few words, you can.
In my defense, I chose 10 participants in the Royal Rumble. All 10 were in the Royal Rumble.
This
You
has
2 have
nothing
to.
to do with
have
you
to
winning.
You 2 can I
recording.
finish? You 2 have to be driving around the perimeter for 2 hours. So who gives a shit? You guys are stupid. I'm dumb, but you guys are stupid. So you guys are big fucking losers. So congratulations, you get to drive around the perimeter for 2 hours. I don't give a shit. So you guys can shut the hell up and just learn to pick better people.
So your defense is
Jordan, quit deflecting. You're up going into the men's rumble. Matt was never in this contest. Never.
no.
Sorry, Matt.
Matt was like
Fine.
the kid we put at the adult table for this contest. Like Matt was splashing around in the kiddie pool at the end of the first round. It was actually fun that he was there. Like it was nice to have someone to bounce ideas off of.
He had a lot of good time. He had a
I
really good
stayed
time.
true to myself. I drafted true to myself, and I sucked. I don't know what to tell
Yeah,
you.
I mean that's fair. He admitted it.
Matt, in comparison to your other Flight in a Pints, you picked 2 slicks tonight. Just saying.
That's hurtful.
Yeah.
Slick was a great manager.
So let's just all say we all made mistakes tonight. Jordan picked the close contacts of Mia Yim. Matt picks shitty people, and I don't know how to record TV. So you know what? All three of us made mistakes tonight, and that's just the way it goes. Okay? Are we good?
No, we're not. But I mean, we're not going to get
Matt,
any better.
I would prefer personally. I'm thinking like we just get up early Saturday morning and just crush this at like 9 a.m. Like we meet,
Get a little
9
coffee
a.m.,
and breakfast.
coffee and breakfast, like McDonald's breakfast, and we just get fat and sassy. I'm talking multiple hash browns, bacon and eggers, coffees. If I don't have to instantly go to the bathroom when we're done the 2 hours, then we have not done it right.
Jordan, I like the way you think.
I want to get gross. I don't want like, oh, I'm not going to go get Doritos. I'm talking like McDonald's drive-through.
I'm talking like $15 at McDonald's breakfast.
Yeah,
That's hard to do.
I'm talking like no
I'll do it.
workout that day.
I wonder.
Go
I wonder
home
what,
and fall asleep.
I gotta start thinking of questions that I want to ask now.
Is it how to set up a recording on PVR? Because I can give you a
No,
full
it's
breakdown
how
to do
it's
that.
how to pick
Jordan?
it's how to pick the commentator who hasn't wrestled in 2 years.
It hasn't been
Jordan,
2
I
years.
already know what we're going to do. We're going to write a long email to Pat outlining how to PVR television properly.
Yeah, Pat 65 years old.
Damn, you guys are real
Yeah.
sore losers, eh? Bunch of losers.
That
Real
has nothing
sore
to do
about
with
it.
losing, Pat. You almost ruined the Royal Rumble for
You
us.
did,
But I didn't.
Pat,
But I didn't.
Pat, on top of ruining 2 WrestleManias, did what every he found the one more sacred wrestling event that he could try to ruin, and that's what he almost did.
I would like to dedicate this victory to Maya Yim, as well to Samoa Joe, and Andrade as well.
You don't have to
and
talk about the Maya Yim.
I would also like
cost
to
me the
dedicate
Royal
it to
Rumble.
Jey Uso and Aleister Black. So let's just all remember that all those people were selected in the men's rumble and did not
forgot
participate
Sonya
in said
Deville.
rumble.
Maya
And
Yim
Sonya Deville.
cost me, and Gonzalez. Maya Yim cost me this contest because I think
We wish
all
Maya
three
Yim.
of us- all three of us agree that Keith Lee would have covered the difference between Pat and I.
I think he might have been in the bronze spot.
But we wish Maya Yim a speedy recovery. I'm now her biggest fan.
We do?
Yeah, I do. I think she's a very good person, and she helped me to victory. So
Yeah.
I appreciate her.
I hope Maya Yim recovers. I hope, you know what, as her penance, I hope she has to stay in Retribution forever. Even when Retribution breaks up, she has to stay in Retribution. That's Maya Yim's punishment for wronging me today.
Also, Pat, I'm just going to go out and say it. You're like the Patrick Reed of this podcast.
Oh, that's tough.
Wow.
Is he not?
You're-
Okay, and
you're a
depending on what
scumbag. You're a
side,
scumbag.
he is a scumbag. He's a scumbag. He's a scumbag.
All right. Well, I think we'll cap it off with that after being called a scumbag, which was very hurtful. Maybe the most hurtful thing said on this podcast.
No.
I don't think
come on.
we could do I don't think we can do competitions anymore.
No, Jordan's very upset about it.
We should
Because-
do more of them.
The next thing is we'd have to pick and eliminate the one person from each elimination chamber match, right?
Yeah.
That would probably be the next logical thing we'd have to pick.
Oh, all right. So we'll wrap it up for another great episode of Bros, Bubs, and Beers. Follow us on
Let's do it.
Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe. Smash that button, that subscribe button on YouTube.
Don't
Follow us
make
on
that
Untapped.
noise. What are you doing?
Follow us on Untapped, at Pat Gani, at Gani Matt with 2 T's, at JSCO55. Drink local, support local. We will see you for next week on another episode of Bros, Bumps, and Beers.